Have you heard that Florida has a homeowners insurance crisis? It's true. That's what we're going to talk about. Stick around. Hi, welcome back. My name's Joe Brown. I'm a realtor with Century 21, List with Beggins, located in South Tampa. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, Florida has a homeowners insurance crisis. And I don't know if you've experienced it or if you know about it, but I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the crisis and what adds to the crisis and maybe how Hurricane Ian is going to impact that, right? So let's just talk generally, right? Insurance companies are in business to make money. I don't know if any businesses that are around that go in saying, hey, I want to lose money this year, except maybe if you're the government. I don't know. But, right, companies in general want to make a profit. Well, for 2 consecutive years, insurance companies have lost over $1 billion a year, to the point that just this year, 2022, 6 insurance carriers in Florida have said, we're out, we're not writing in Florida anymore, right? Well, that number of companies in Florida was already small. Now it's gotten smaller. And so the economic impact, right, that fewer companies have to take more risk means more money, right? And because companies are in business to make a profit, they're not making a profit. So how do they make a profit? Increase premiums, right? So it's a cycle. As companies pull out, leaving fewer companies with higher risk, rates go up, companies want to make money. So where are we at? So let's talk about why are companies losing money? Did you know out of the United States, Florida only has 9% of the total homeowners claims. So if somebody breaks into the house, I have to call insurance and make a claim on the house. Or if the wind blows the roof off or whatever happens, tree limb falls on the house. Only 9% of total claims across the country. But with a capital B-U-T, but Florida has 80% of the lawsuits against insurance companies. So let me say that again. Florida only has 9% of the homeowners' claims, but 80% of the homeowners' lawsuits. Well, why is that? There's something called assignment of benefits. Now, listen, I'm not in the insurance industry. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all the ins and outs because there are arguments on both sides. But here's a typical scenario of what happens, right? So we recently had Hurricane Ian come through. Well, there's some scams, right? Not everybody, but there are some contractors that will come by and say, hey, you have loose shingles. Let me inspect your roof. And they'll go up there and then they'll tell the homeowner, hey, you know what? You need a new roof because of damage. Sign this form, an assignment of benefits. We will deal with the insurance company. You don't have to do anything, and you get a new roof. Well, the homeowner says, well, great. If you're going to take care of everything, do it. Well, that's the assignment of benefit. Well, then the contractor contacts the insurance company. Insurance company will send their own adjuster out and say, listen, the roof is okay, it just needs to be repaired. And so then they say, listen, instead of a brand new roof, we will pay for the cost of repair. You know what the homeowner can do? Nothing, because they assigned the benefits to the contractor. And the contractor turns around and says, no, insurance company. We're the contractor. We say it needs a new roof. You're not paying for the new roof. We're going to sue you. Right? And so how much does it cost? How expensive is it to hire a lawyer to defend yourself? Right? Tens of thousands of dollars. And you know what many insurance companies do? Forget the lawyer. We'll just pay the claim. Right? $15,000, $20,000 for a roof, whether it really needed a roof or not. Because sometimes in the insurance industry, they call them nuisance claims, right? It's just a nuisance. Let me pay the claim because it's cheaper than hiring a lawyer and defending that lawsuit. And that's why insurance companies are losing money. That's why there's so many lawsuits. Now, lawyers will say there are so many lawsuits because insurance companies aren't paying what they need to. Insurance companies aren't paying the claims because they're saying the roof just needs to be repaired. They don't need a new roof. And the homeowner, because of the assignment of benefit, has taken themselves out of the picture. So just yesterday, Governor DeSantis called for a second special session just dealing with homeowners insurance. And one of the topics is assignment of benefits and whether that should be allowed or not. I do know that there are insurance companies in Florida that when you apply for a policy and you sign a waiver saying, I will not sign an assignment of benefits, you can get a discount on your policy, right? That's one of the caveats out there. So that's part of the reason that insurance rates are going up. Insurance companies are losing money, taking higher risk, and they're losing money not only because of the hurricanes and storms, but these assignment of benefits and the lawsuits. That's easier to pay than to actually go through and do the actual repair. So I want to talk about Hurricane Ian. So I read a report this morning that just from the Caribbean, Florida, and South Carolina, they are expecting losses, damages of over $75 billion in those three areas. Now, I don't know specifically the damages in Florida. But, so let's go back. I told you insurance companies are leaving Florida. Well, if people cannot get insurance in Florida, where do they go? Citizens. It is the state-run insurance program, and it was originally set up to be the insurance of last resort. If you can't get insurance anyplace else, this is where you can go. Citizens now has 1 million policies. 5 years ago, they had 400,000. Now they have 1 million policies. So now think about Hurricane Ian and the damage that was done. Is that going to affect the state budget? Oh, absolutely it will. We don't know the extent yet, but it will affect the state budget. So what does Citizens do to recoup the money? They put a policy surcharge on all policies across the state, across companies, right? So you may not have had an insurance claim. You may not have been affected by Hurricane Ian, but all the policies are going to have a surcharge because they have to make up for the losses because other companies bailed out and Citizens has such, million policies to insure. So Hurricane Ian is going to affect insurance premiums, whether you are affected or not, just because of the amount of losses. Another topic I want to talk about real quick is flood insurance. And, I'm reminded maybe a year ago, maybe more than a year, I did a 5-part series on homeowners insurance. And I interviewed a friend of mine, Tom Roney, who owns an insurance agency here in Tampa. I'll put a link to a couple of the videos here. He talks about homeowners insurance and roofs and flood insurance. But with flood insurance, we look at our house and say, are we in a flood zone or not? Do we need flood insurance or not? And really, what we want to know is, do I have to pay for flood insurance? So you have Zone A, Zone B, Zone C, maybe Zone X, right? Well, and FEMA has changed their flood policy that now says your policy, your rate is based on how close you are to the water. So if we're in Zone X, we say, whew, I don't need flood insurance. I'm so happy I don't have to put that money out for flood insurance. Did you know, right? And here's a head scratcher. Did you know 30% of flood claims to FEMA are from non-flood zone areas? People living in flood zone X, and they get flooded. They're not insured. Where do they go? They can apply to FEMA. So just FEMA's numbers, 30% of their claims are from non-flood zone areas. So as a homeowner, even if you're in a non-flood zone area, it may be smart to just price flood insurance. Because it's not a flood zone, it could be very cheap for you. So now there are some things you can do to help lower. I'm going to give you a couple suggestions here. First suggestion would be how to lower insurance premiums. Number 2, some things you have to be aware of to stop some of the fraud that's going on. So number 1, with the flood insurance, to lower the policies, is update the roof, right? Keep the roof clean. Have your roof checked every couple of years. Make sure it's in good order. Number 2, see what you can do towards wind mitigation. That's one of the big issues. We have a strong wind, roofs blow off. Well, some company, I was talking to a gentleman 2 weeks ago who had a house built in the 1950s, and he paid a contractor to come in and strap down his roof beams. And that saved him hundreds of dollars on his insurance premium because it's a higher wind mitigation factor, right? So he was able to lower premium. So if that's something you can do, have somebody come out, check what type of attachment your roof has to your house, see if that can be improved. Third thing, very simple, maintain your property. Whether it's an air conditioning unit, electrical panels, just maintain the property, keep it in good order, and that'll help keep you from having insurance losses. Now, here are some things you need to be aware of. And maybe some of this has happened after Hurricane Ian or after heavy storms. You'll have people come by your door and say, hey, we see you might have damage on the roof. Can we check that out? Can we represent you, assignment of benefit and stuff like that? So number 1, solicitation like that is illegal, right? If somebody comes to your door speaking like that, report it to the authorities. That is illegal. Number 2, be cautious about the, I can't read my handwriting. Be cautious about the roof repairs, right? These contractors saying, oh, your roof needs to be replaced. Well, maybe it just needs to be repaired, right? So if a storm comes up and you notice damage, just be careful what they're saying, because the insurance company will come out and have their own adjuster look at the roof. Third thing is, if somebody wants you to sign an assignment of benefits, be very careful with that, right? And as I mentioned, that's going to be one of the topics talked about at the state, whether that should be allowed. It is adding to this insurance crisis we're going through. So, listen, I don't have all the answers. If you still have questions, send me an email. If I don't know the answer, I'll try and get the answer for you. I want to be your trusted real estate advisor. And that means not only when you go to buy or sell a house, but things to do with the house, with, insurance. So reach out to me, see if I can help you. Check out my website, joebrownc21.com. On that website, you can search for homes. I also have some blogs up there, links to different videos. So let me be your trusted advisor. Listen, I love sharing this information with you because South Tampa, Florida living is awesome.